no, I'm not having it. No, absolutely. You were like, no.
What was my actual response to that, Tim?
No. Numbers, IT, Connector, Electrical, and overwhelmed Joe and Souffle who are playing in those areas, and that's something they need to be aware of. But Souffle, he manages to take one down. Azuki as well. There is a couple coming back from Wildcard along the way. Leaves us 3v3, but Pika has had to relocate. He's had to move from Fish Stairs back in towards the main site just to help prop up that defense a little bit. But look at Souffle's position.
He's really tucked in inside of IT, and yes, sure,
there you go.
Freebie onto Bay, good stuff, and with that might be enough to hold on. Kansan was in looking to get the plan down. They've gone straight in on towards Pillar here, but they've got to win some gunfights, and Kansan can't get away with it. I think they made it fit.
Let's go, Daystar! They've been all over this game for years, and you know what? He's got a spot named after him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't want to see him back down from the fight. Bay is going to back down Joe for learning the lesson from Souffle as well. You know, Souffle's punished us last time. We weren't aware of him. We've not dealt with him. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again. Beautiful kill. Kansan manages to pick up Seal. We've got another battle going on there. Baby Shark can't quite find his man. Flashbang will be active as well, but right now, Wildcard in the driving seat as Bay finds another.
Yeah, this one looking a little bit pedestrian in the sense they're still trying to challenge this window, and Baby Shark just carries on, finally getting him in the end. But there's been 3 players to go for this fight, Tim, and that just means elsewhere the diffuser can go down. Great use of flashes throughout this round. I do want to stress, by the way, from Wildcard, excellent in making sure. I will say the mirror has been something across a couple of rounds that we've seen stepping in, but look at this. They've just gone straight in through the storage window, and they're already planting in. What more is it to say? They've got full control, 3 players inside the storage. Dash has gone a little bit aggressive there and trying to hunt down what's going on elsewhere around the map, but it doesn't matter because he was the distraction party. Spiker has got that diffuser down. They're outside the building, and Kansan is ready to strike on the vertical if they come above IT. This is very well executed, and Daystar have been completely blindsided.
Yeah, it's another good call from Wildcard there, just recognising that I think, you know, yeah, let's throw a few curveballs at them. Daystar, like we've said, not the most experienced team at this level, so yeah, let's throw in a rush. Let's see how they deal with that. Let's see how they deal with a bit of aggression. We've got Azuki out of the map here, just trying to get something going. He sees his man, but he can't get him. It's the shipping containers in his way. 3 kills come in, 2 for Baby Shark.
The problem is that this is where they need the catwalk control, and they can't go and jump onto Souffle now because Seal, for example, is on catwalk. He needs to be dealt with. Souffle taking a little bit of chip though, tries to step away, and they finally managed to get rid of him because at the same time, Seal's being distracted by Kansan. However, he wins that gunfight. There's one more. Baby Shark jumps in, but it's trades back and forth all over the shop at this point, Tim. Only 2 left standing. Pekan's down on the deck. It's a 2v2.
And again, Daystar have reacted well here. Azuki's moved back in from Aqua Stairs, recognised that there was no pressure coming from that side after all, so he's now bolstered the defence back.
He's inside Electric. He's got the shotgun close range. He's in a good spot to be able to contest this if they do try and push through.
And they're going to know from... There you go,
Too
bulletproof cam, as I said. They're fully aware Bay's walking in. Azuki's got his teammate telling him where and when to swing. Does exactly that, and now it's up to Spiker. About 30, 40 HP. He's going to be opening a wall with an exothermic. 15 seconds left to go. He's got no option, really, other than to just go in looking for kills. He's actually used that exothermic as bait to then go around the opposite way. The barbed wire is going to make the situation even more difficult, and Daystar have played this well. Nice and calm, not got carried away, not
gone down. As mentioned earlier on, he was the big small part of this that can slow down Spiker opening up those walls. It's a dream catch, don't get me wrong, for Wildcard. But for Daystar, it is a little bit punishing. At least they get one back with the C4. It's the Deimos taken offline, but immediately there's a response onto the pulse on the big operator gone, and that shotgun at close range! Seal doing the work and bringing down both players on the side of Wildcard that were pushing in towards...
Wasn't enough, and they get seriously hurt. And look at that. I think Seal's just managed to sneak past and get himself into a position here. Spiker maybe unaware, but Seal just too much movement and gives himself away. We find ourselves now 1v1. It's Pika versus Spiker. Pika's going to drop down, head back to site, but there's 30 seconds left and Spiker's got diffuser in hand. Daystar, they can't plan to just hide away for this one.
Well, Spiker's got to get the kill. We actually did a very similar spot yesterday in our G2 game, I want to say it was. Maybe it had been the prior one where there was a plant going in inside a tank here. And I believe it was Doku then ran out from where Pekan is right now and gets the shot onto the player to win the round out. Spiker's going in for the kill, so knows where he is, but Pekan hits the shots he needs. Spiker goes down. How do you stop that or prevent it? Have information it's going to happen. A pulse and a Solus 100% help towards that end, but I think there's a bit of respect being shown by the other side because Bay is across onto the IQ. Joker on the smoke going down easy early on. Not great here. Tend to try and want to hold on to that those smoke grenades till later on in the round.
Yep, Joe is Joe gone. Dash manages to pick up Seal as well. 5 versus 3 now. and that is, again, good advantage for Wildcard. These are the attacking rounds where they've really excelled, where they've been able to go in, locate those players, pick up kills, and get the man advantage.
So far, this one's still to be determined, but just goes to show that Daystar have been pretty good at fighting back into these rounds when they've lost players. This one may start moving to be a stretch too far, though, Tim. It's a 4 versus 2.
The reverse headshot to take him down, beautiful stuff, and that really does cement the advantage.
No way,
for
he's back
Wildcard.
for this.
Kanza manages to pick up Pika, but again, that leaves us in a position where it's Wildcard getting back on the drones, still with the due diligence, still making sure that they know exactly what's going on. Last kill picked up by Spiker. That's going to be Wildcard leveling things up.
First bans are probably, I imagine, going to be including a shield. In fact, no, it's going to be the 8.
And here they go. It's going to be
wow.
That we're talking about straight away. Still a couple of cams left active, but I'm sure when they go into the region, it's not going to matter because the damage has been done before they could get there. Spiker takes down Joe with a nitro.
This is the thing, they've been playing into this intel. Unlucky.
We're going to see.
Not ideal, as you famously said, Tim.
No, not ideal indeed.
Oh.
5 versus 3 as Dash manages to pick up Seal, and Wildcard just having the run of the show at the minute. They're up there on the top floor, making it difficult for Daystar to come in. Every time they try to get in through a window or door inside of the map, they're just being challenged immediately. Souffle does manage to pick up one onto Dash, but in all honesty, you feel like that's maybe all they're going to be getting out of this round. 2 versus 4 now, a minute left to go. They don't have Diffuser. Azuki's down, actually, going to be finished off by Spiker, and this one looks like the race is run.
Do love how mobile we've seen Wildcard throughout this defense as well. Like, it's something we commented on yesterday for a couple of teams, G2 especially on Clubhouse, a map that very famously had as their permaban. They played it extremely aggressive, always trying to get onto the flank of Shopify Rebellion. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but it was the fact they didn't stay still which made it hard for Shopify Rebellion to deal with it at times. And I think it's their first time on the international stage. If they've got a game plan in mind, okay, here's our set strat, here's how we attack, here's what we're going to do. Best thing you can do is get up in their face early and pick off a player or two and just totally upend that game plan and force them to think on their feet, because that is where less experienced teams tend to struggle. And I think you're going to see that happen now that we're into, I was going to say a 4v3, but at least they've equalized this out into a 3v3.
Take the drone there, maybe hop in and help Azuki from, you know, catwalk instead and try to push through IT. Joe does manage to pick up Spiker though, and that creates a little bit of room for Souffle. Does he know that Dash is down here on the stairs though?
Not 100% sure. Baby Shark close range though, gets one. Will he find a second as Joe's trying to push onto him? And now Dash and Souffle are taking their own engage. There we go. Baby Shark's on for a triple. He's got to find a quad to close it out. Souffle pushing in, looking for his man, but of course that's a drone. Baits it out with the throw.
This is so winnable with the DMR. He's up against, you know, SMG or shotgun. Those are the choices. If he can keep this long angle to the engagement, it really benefits him, but he couldn't. He went moving in to try and find that kill.
Side of Wildcard, and it is the basement that they were defending, so a lot potentially to work on for Daystar. Otherwise, they can try and hit the site directly, but that feels like a pretty big risk. Even with the phone call ringing out, Kansan still manages to... He takes a little bit of chip on his way down there, Joe. Almost fortunate in a sense that the C4 was in the hands of Dash at the time and not his guns pointed directly at his feet, but steps up with a wonderful shot onto Baby Shark. But that's the problem, Tim. They get one, elsewhere they lose 2.
Yep.
Once again, we're in a 4 versus 2 for Wildcard.
The trades have been great from Wildcard, and again, it just comes down to that team play. Joe manages to pick up pace, so that second nearly makes it a third as well there. Seal just getting caught out almost as well. 1 versus 3 as Spiker takes down what seemed like the real threat, the Blackbeard on the side of Daystar. So now Seal with super low health. I said he had a 1v4 yesterday. He's not going to do a 1v3 today. Dash, he races towards the...
themselves, and that is what's making them just look so disheveled, disorganized. Hard start on the defense on map 2.
I just need Daystar to get one more round.
I told you, mate, 6 rounds. That's what number I put to it.
If they can get one more and they go for 4, then I'm happy. Souffle manages to take down Kansan, just overcoming that 8 rounds of consecutive entries, but the trade is there. It's a little bit late, but it gets the job done. Dash managing to take down... Yeah, you get a feeling that Wildcard now are going to be pushing this one over the line. 4 versus 3, very much, you know, plenty of hit points on the board. Joe does take down Dash though, but again, we've said this, the trade game for Wildcard has been good. Maybe not a direct trade, but once Daystar get a kill, Wildcard always seem to find one in response, and they keep it ahead.
Almost like a 3-way crossfire starting to form, or at least points of aggression to send back onto them. It's not going to be pretty. He can start to move his way down the corridor to the right, as you can see, but Baby Shark finds him first, unfortunately. It's a 1v3, and it is map 7-3 to Wildcard here on Labs. Off to a strong start at SI.
Yeah, the stats don't favour it, I'll give you that. But let's just see what happens. You know, if they're against one of the stronger teams and etc., we need to see that. Prioritising preferences, top floor side. I get it.
No, you don't. You hate it.
I don't
Go on
get,
about it all the time.
I get that it's the team's choice, is what I mean. I get that it may be their preference. I don't get why, because the stats don't really. No, you've got a great start, really. In my mind, you're almost getting the difficult side out of the way with this top floor, and they start things off beautifully. Spiker couldn't have hit anybody much better, I don't think. Taking down Pecan on the Capito with the Nitro. Kansan doubles the advantage by taking Azuki down. There is a little bit of an answer there from Steel, managing to pick up Dash, but other than that, they've lost the Amaru, they've lost the Capito. That's about 80% of your execution strat gone.
However, 2 kills from that hits him. 1 player on the window, the second one pushing in Steel as he drops on through.
Just inside.
Spiker and Kansan got to go big on this one. It's a 2v2 on the top floor temporarily, and Spiker ain't losing that one. Finds a 2 in towards cocktail of 3 for himself, and now Kansan has just got to watch the stairs below him as Joe's going to work his way up. Couldn't repel him towards White window, so he was a little bit behind the rest of his team, had to work his way up White stairs, and he's got to go big. I mentioned that he had a brilliant first map for his team. Definitely the highest in terms of kills overall. Some good moments from him, but now he's got to go absolutely massive. Kansan gets that closing kill, so it's going to be 3. And while they haven't finished Azuki off with those 2 C4s, he is quite precariously low now. A bullet or 2 from death.
Oh, beautiful from Joe. Just manages to find Dash. A little 50-50 gunfight there. Hits him through the soft wall. And
to start dealing with these operators better.
Drone goes in, just checking around sight. I think maybe Daystar just getting a little bit ahead of themselves there if they wanting to work in there. Another headshot for Spiker, something that we'll probably be keeping an eye on now that I've mentioned it. But he just wins those gunfights so quickly and is doing some real damage. 5-0 at the minute. 3 versus 3. Just gets taken down with the reverse headshot, so Joe's going to give him a taste of his own medicine.
How was that headshot?
It was.
It looked like he was right at his butt. I don't know. Okay. Different player. That's why we got baited.
You got baited. I didn't say anything. The Pulse is going to be picking up that. Oh, it could be a big Nitro. It's just a little bit too slow. Doesn't quite get it. Seal's actually getting that diffuser down just directly up above him. He's not anymore. It's going to be a trade. They're going to have to go in, grab this, and try to throw it down on the ground. Surely there's going to be an answer coming from the Pulse. There we go. Shotgun goes up through the floor. Kansan picks it up, and Wildcard once again in confident control.
She is as an operator.
Baby Shark's desperate for a jump out here, and he's taking intel from the Pulse. That's absolutely beautiful teamwork that we've seen there. Good response coming in from Daystar. They are ready to pick up the trade. Baby Shark wasted.
This is a good way to do about it as well. Spotting this one's a little bit out towards the side, isolated, trying to get a kill back here.
Oh,
of course he finds it. Kansan gets away with the kill and evades the nade damage coming in from above. It could not have gone worse for Daystar.
Cannot be allowed. Cannot be allowed. Beautiful stuff from Kansan there. Just great movement. Gets himself into the second as well. Picking up a headshot onto Joe. Just doing great work. Diffuser's down cold. They've got control. Kansan trip. Well, just give Kansan the round, I reckon.
So Tim, I'm happy to admit I was probably wrong as well. I said they get 6 rounds. I think it might turn to be less at this point. This is bruising across these first 3 rounds. They've had their tack timeout. There's nothing more they can really do to course correct here. It's all down to the players to find a way through. It is looking rough. We heard the coach say they've got to talk more, and unfortunately, after this bruising round, I don't think there'll be much more going on. This one is going to be a wildcard round. They go 3-0. On we go to the 4th to see if fortunes can transform.
Yeah, pretty much. Pegan's had his opportunity. He's hit Kansan when he's gone across the windows, but now Azuki just holding that angle. Gonna lock people in place where, if anything, he wants them moving.
How?
No.
How?
No. No, thank you.
That really can't happen. Not at this level.
With that gadget in his hand for the, probably about 1.5 minutes of the round at this point. He's just waiting for that opportunity on the windows as it is. It's going to be Spiker instead of the Nitro. He's going to get out of the garage instead. It's just getting a little bit silly now.
It's, again, best time to disrupt your enemies when they're getting set up for an execute. They showed that back on Labs. They've done it again in this round in particular on Cafe. They are looking
round ahead of them here as Pecan manages to get his way into a position to plant. Nitro is no good, but he stopped on the plant and it gave him the opportunity to hit the Nitro. No, Daystar.
Tim's having a meltdown here in the casting booth.
I don't think he'd have got it down anyway. I
stopped them getting their plan pulled together and executed as a unit. Just picking them off one by one was always the greatest way to keep their communication absolutely crazy. Souffle getting rid of Dash, not a bad start at all. Bay was the one who I thought for a second might get something going here as he was starting to push out a reading, but that kill has pulled him back inside.
They don't have the diffuser. The diffuser's down inside, so Wildcard are just going to be playing for the case here, but it's going to be down to Kansan. 1v3 becomes a 1v1. He needs one more kill. He sees him. He gets him. Kansan closes it out. Was it ever in doubt? It's been a little bit of a day of firsts. I believe we've had, over on the B stream, we've had our first ace of SR26. Come on day 2. We also had our first 7-0 earlier with Weibo. I think, Des, we might get our second.
We may well do. We may well do. Starting things out with 2 kills. Shock horror entries continue to fly the way of Wildcard. That makes it, what, only 3 that Daystar have found across the entire series so far. 16 rounds and 3 entries sort of shows you and tells you exactly how this game is going. They've also got the same number of rounds, coincidentally. Not looking good, and there we go, a flawless round to close out the half. We'll see the switch onto the attack.
A little round of attrition, but I think have got a better chance of getting a round on defense. A double jump out. They are knowing what Daystar may try to do.
You can take the team out of APAC, Tim.
Still got away with it.
You know what to expect sometimes, the aggression.
Top floor. They wanted to get themselves into piano, really. They know that the Tuber out is playing in pixel spot. Azuki manages to pick up Baby Shark. Daystar, 5 versus 3 now, building themselves an opportunity to pick up their first round on Cafe. However, Dash on the fight back. Kansan goes for the chance, can't get it. It's a double from Joe, and it's over in the blink of an eye as Azuki manages to shut that one down.
They have got it, but look at this, the angle. They've got to be so hot on the trigger to make sure they deal with this man. Out comes the 2 browser flash, rolls on through, and that's the way that they start their march on through. But Pican's got 2, Tim. He's held on plenty fine here. Was looking for a third, but Kansan, Angel of Death, from above, finds his man. The drop comes on through, but Azuki guns him down. Looks for another. Baby Shark gets him first, but time is running low, Tim. They've got to make a plan happen now. Cool coming out, but no, his teammate's gone down before him. They run out of time, and Daystar hold on for a second round in a row.
It was most certainly done from this position. Daystar become the attackers almost now and have to fight their way back into sight. Dash doesn't want to overextend there as the Demos. He doesn't need to. Just hold your position inside of sight. But here come Daystar, Des.
But here comes Kansan, Tim, fighting his way back through as well. He's on white stairs and has the control from here. Can see the default plant spot. There's only one left. It's all down to Joe, Tim. He's going to find nothing. That's my coach. Steps in with the strat, and the boys get it over the line. Wildcard taking all 4 points away from Daystar. Yeah.